Okay. So guys, let's begin this. So let's see what is Azure data engineering. So when we talk about the Azure data engineering, so what is Azure, guys? Azure is the name used by the Microsoft. Azure is the name used by the Microsoft to market the cloud services. To market their cloud services, that is when Microsoft uses a name called, what is it, guys? Okay. Okay. So here we have what's it? Basically, Azure is the name used by the Microsoft to market their cloud services. Okay. Like you have the more supermarket, like you have the more supermarket here, like you have a more supermarket. It is owned by Birla. That means Birla Group is marketing their grocery stores. Birla Group is marketing their grocery stores with a name called, what is that? With a name called what? Yes, more. In the same way, you have Azure is the name used by the Microsoft to market the cloud services. And then, guys, we have the data. What is data? What is data, guys? Data is nothing but what? Information. Data is nothing but what? Information. Okay. And then you have what's that, everyone? Engineering. So engineering is nothing but what? Application of techniques. So we can say overall application of techniques, application of techniques on the data. Okay, guys. Application of techniques on the data using Azure. Application of techniques on the data using Azure. So hence it is called as what? Azure data engineering. Application of techniques on the data using the Azure is called as what? Azure data engineering, guys. So Azure data engineering is nothing but basically Azure data engineering is nothing but, guys, it is a bunch of cloud services. It is a bunch of cloud services. That means many cloud services are intact here into the Azure. So what are those cloud services, guys? We can say we don't call it the products here. We call it as what? Services. So the first service here we call it as what, guys? ADF, which is nothing but we call it as the Azure Data Factory. And then we have what is that? ADB, which we call it as what? Azure Databricks. And then we have the another service which is called as what? Synapse. Okay. Then we have the another service, guys. That service is called as what? Machine learning, ML. Okay. And then you have the another service that is called as what, guys? AI. That we call it as what? Artificial intelligence. That is, we call it as what? Open AI. The full name of this what? Open AI. Open AI, guys. Likewise, you have many more services are there, but some of the services which I have listed here, that's it. So Azure Data Engineering is the cloud, bunch of cloud services, and these are the cloud services we have it, guys. And using these cloud services, we perform the following jobs. What is that? The first one is called as what? Data migration job. Data migration. Then we have also data integration. Data migration, data integration. Then you have also data summarization. Data migration, data integration, data summarization. And then we have the data visualization. Okay, guys. So we have also the data migration, data integration, data summarization, and the data visualization. So these are all the jobs we can perform it by using these services, guys. Okay. This is completely end-to-end service, guys. It is completely the end-to-end service. Okay. The Azure data engineering is a complete end-to-end service for a business solution. That's it. Okay. So now, guys, the whole story, as already we have discussed yesterday, what is data migration, what is data integration, what is data summarization, and data visualization, guys. Today we'll start directly with the data, guys. What is it? Data. So what is my data? Data is nothing but, guys, what is data? Data is nothing but what? Information. Data is nothing but what, guys? Information. Now tell me, what is the source of information? What is the source from where we get the information, guys? Everyone. Yeah. What is the source from where we get the information? So we get the data, or we get the source, that is nothing but data, from the following sources. What are the sources, guys? The first and foremost source, here you can say it as, what is that, guys? I can get the data from a social networking sites. From the social networking sites. Okay, guys. We get the data from the social networking sites. We get the data from the social networking sites. Okay, guys. We get the data from the social networking sites. So what are social networking sites, guys? You can say here it as what? Everyone. Facebook, then you have Insta, and then you have what's this X, which we previously used to call it as the Twitter, and then you have what's that, guys? Insta, FB, that is this one, and then you have the WhatsApp, everyone, WhatsApp, okay, WhatsApp, and then you have what's it, guys? LinkedIn. So these are all what? Sources of getting the data. So from these sources, guys, we get the massive amount of data. What do we get it here? Massive amount of data. That is nothing but called what? Huge, massive amount of data. Massive amount of data. We get the huge volume of the data from these sources, guys. What is that? Data is nothing but what? Data is the information. And information, we get it from the source of information. Okay, guys. And what are the source of information, guys? So social networking sites. So we get the data from the social networking sites such as Facebook, Insta, Twitter, which we call it as X nowadays, and WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Snapchat, etc. All these are what, guys? Social networking sites. So from here, we get the massive volume of the data, guys. From here, we get what is it? Massive volume of the data. That is the huge volume of the data. You'll get it here. Apart from this, what are the other sources from where we can expect the data, guys? Data, we can get it from the other source, that is called as what? Data is also called as what? Information. And the information, we get it from the source of information. And this time the source of information can be, what's it, guys? It can be human generated or machine generated. Guys, human generated or machine generated data, you can say. Okay, human generated or the machine generated data, you can say, guys. Okay, you can say human generated data. It can be human means what? You and me generated data, and also it can be the machine generated data. So all these human generated data or the machine generated data gets what kind of data, guys? Even this data will be, what is it? A huge volume of the data, guys. It is also called as what? Huge volume of the data. Huge volume of data. So guys, huge volume of data or massive amount of data is nothing but one or the same, guys. One or the same, you can say. And then you have what's it, guys? Data or the information, we can say, guys. Data or the information. Data or the information. Okay, guys. Data or the information, we get it from the, yes, guys. Data or the information, we get it from the source. And this time, guys, the source can be, what's it? Banking applications. Banking applications. What is it? We get the data from the banking applications. We get the data from the banking applications, and it can also be, what's it, guys? Big data. It can also be called as what? Big data, guys. It can also be called as what? Big data. So here you can say, guys, data or information. Okay, guys, data or the information, okay, is nothing but the source. Basically, the source of data can be, what's it? Banking applications. And these banking applications are used at what? Banking sector level. And even they generate, what's it? Big data. Okay, apart from this, guys, the most important one nowadays, which is very, popular, we have it. or trending, we can say that the data or the information we get it from which source? Data or the information we get it from the source. That source is called as what, guys, everyone? It's a very trending one. Live streaming process. Live streaming process. So what is live streaming process, guys? Where the streaming continuously takes place, guys. Such as you have the stock market. Stock market. So stock market receives the data on every regular interval. Am I right? The stock market on a regular interval, that is every day, every hour, every minute, the values keeps on changing, coming up, going down. All this called as what, guys? All this is called as what, guys, everyone? It is called as a live streaming process. Live streaming process. This is called as what? Live streaming process, guys. It is called as what? Live streaming process. So we can get the data from the live stream process, such as we have the stock market is there, and then you have the live cricket match. All this comes under what's it, guys? Live streaming process only. And even they generate what's it? Data. The data is called as what? Big. That is, it will be big in nature, guys. So hence we can say very huge data. So this is called as what? Big data. So guys, when we talk about the big data, so what exactly the big data means, guys? Big data is nothing but the massive amount of data or the huge volume of the data is called as big data, where the big data is classified into three categories. What are those, guys? The big data is classified into the three different categories. What are those categories, guys? The first one I can say it here as the, guys, structured data. And the second one I can say, guys, semi-structured data. And the third one I can say, guys, unstructured data. So these are the three varieties of data we can have it, guys. Structured data, semi-structured data, and the unstructured data, guys. So what is a structured data? First of all, let's try to understand what is a structured data. So what is structured data? So structured means what is structure? Means already it is shaped in a proper form. The data which is already shaped in a proper form is called as what? Structured, guys. The data which is already shaped in a proper form is called as what? Structured, guys. The data which is already shaped in a proper form is called as what? Structured. So hence we can say, guys, structured data. Let's try to see here the structured data. How does it work? So I can say, guys, structured data is nothing but the data which is already kept in the proper form of a table. Proper form of a table, guys. The data which is kept in the proper form of a table, where the table means what, guys? Can you see here? It's a collection of rows and columns. So I'm giving the columns here. Suppose I'm using it name, ID, salary, and job. That's it, guys. These are the four columns you have it. And we can enter the data in this. I can use the alien, something like this ID number, salaries, let's say 30,000 like this. And job is the clerk. Job is the clerk, guys. Okay. And then you have what's it? Bobby. $40,000. Senior clerk. And then you have the Carol. And then you have the MGR, that is manager. Can you see here, guys? This is actually the proper form of data, where it is a collection of columns and rows, guys. Columns and what? Rows. This kind of a data is called as what? Structured data. Structured data is nothing but what? Guys, structured data is nothing but what? The data which the user can easily understand. The data which the user can easily understand is called as what? Structured data, guys. The data which the user can easily understand is called as what? Structured data. Okay. The data which is user can understand it very easily. Hence, it is called as what? Structured data, guys. It is called as what? Structured data. It is called as what? Structured data, guys. Okay. So next one, what is semi-structured, guys? Semi-structured means what? Actually, this data is not in proper form, not fully structured, but it has a part structured only. So what is that? Basically, that means the data which is recorded in the form of a JSON file, or the data which is recorded in the XML file, or the data which is recorded in the HTML file. Guys, all this comes under what is that, guys? Semi-structured data only. All this comes under what's that? Semi-structured data. All this comes under what, guys? Semi-structured data. All this comes under what? Semi-structured data, guys. Okay, everyone. It comes under what? Semi-structured data. It comes under what, guys? Semi-structured data, where actually there is no proper structure, but still it follows some structure. So now I'll show you an example of this JSON. Okay, guys. So JSON. So what is JSON? JSON stands for what? JavaScript object notation file. JavaScript object notation file. What is that? JavaScript object notation file. So here we can say, guys, JavaScript object notation file. JavaScript object notation file. Okay. JavaScript object notation file is called as what? Semi-structured data, guys. So here you can say, guys, JavaScript object notation file. So JSON is the data. So how the data is recorded here? The same data I'll take up and put it in the JSON format, guys. Can you see here? I'm using the data in the curly braces. The data in the JSON is recorded in the form of curly braces here. So here you can say, guys, this is the data you have it. So now can you see here you have a column name, colon, and then you have what, guys? Name value. Value is what? Alien, comma. You have the another one, guys, everyone. So I'm using it. ID. Then what is the ID you have it? 443. That means it's a numeric data, na? So it's not placed under the quotes here. Then you have a comma here, guys. Come to the next line. And then same as it is, you can say, guys, ID, and then you have the salary. And the salary is what, guys? Let's say 30,000. Job. So guys, job is a character. So I'm using the, again, character values are placed under the quote space. Normally, rest of them are not placed here. Okay, so guys, further you have another data is another row is also there. So then comma outside the brace will be there. This is called as a JSON data, where the data is recorded in the form of what? Yes, guys, key value pair. This is called as what? Key value pair, guys. I'm writing it here. Key value pair. Key value pair means what, guys? Key is the, guys, key. This is the key, and this is the value. Both of them together is called as what? Key value pair. That's it. Okay. Key value pair, the data which is recorded in the form of a JSON. So guys, unstructured means what, guys? There is no proper structure for the data. There is no proper structure for the data, guys. Is called as what? Unstructured data. There is no proper structure for the data. Is called as what? Unstructured data. There is no proper structure for the data. Is called as what? Unstructured data. Unstructured data, guys. That's it. Okay. There is no proper structure for the data. Hence, it is called as what? Unstructured data. So, guys, unstructured data means what? The photos, videos, chat histories, photos, videos, chat history, all this comes under what's it? Unstructured. There is no proper structure. Guys, this kind of a data you will always get in the real time. 60% of the data you will get it here. Whereas this format, we get 20%. 20%. And this one will be 20%, folks. So this is the ratio of receiving the data in the real time, basically. This one also 20%. So now, guys, you can say 20, 20, 60. So totally how much? 100. That's it. So out of the whole data, this is how the data looks like this. Okay. This is the form of structured, semi-structured, and as well as the unstructured data. These are the three categories of data we have. Okay. Now, guys, further, how the data is stored, where the data is stored, and how do we start with the Azure, that we are going to see it from tomorrow onwards. Okay. Now, for the meanwhile, if you have any doubt, you can ask me, please. Yes. Any doubts?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, you told you would be explaining about the course curriculum today, discussing the course curriculum.
Yeah, course curriculum. Okay, we'll discuss it tomorrow. The whole course curriculum and discuss it tomorrow. Okay, because tomorrow, anyways, we'll start the practicals. So before starting the practicals, I'll discuss the course curriculum. What is the flow of the curriculum will go, I'll tell you.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.